The color red is pretty fascinating. When you look at a map on election day in the United States, it's the Republicans that are the reds and the Democrats that are the blues. So we talk about red meat for red states. You know, we talk about Republican issues being red state issues. And I wondered, how is it that the Republicans became red when traditionally red was the color of the left wing? And I guess it's the result of an accident having to do with the advent of color television. The way I understand things, there are a couple of really good articles in the Washington Post, Smithsonian Magazine, and the New York Times itself that basically say that until the 1970s, most TV networks didn't care about the way the maps looked on election day because so many Americans had black and white televisions. It wasn't until 1976 that NBC apparently started to put colors to political parties. But what I think happened, if memory serves, is that they made the Democrats red in '76 and the Republicans blue. And then you have changes that occur throughout the 1980s. ABC apparently is using yellow as one of its colors. CBS is using yellow and red, but they're not consistent in the way they apply the colors. And it isn't really until the year 2000, the election between George Bush and Al Gore, that red solidifies as a color for the Republicans and blue a color for the Democrats. Because what happens is both the major networks and the New York Times use red to identify Republican states and blue to identify Democratic states. And the reason why 2000 is important is because you remember that election lasted for nearly a month. No one knew the next morning who had won the election. In fact, it took the Supreme Court to tell us who had won the election in December. So the reason, in my opinion, why red is now associated with the Republican Party is because of the election of 2000.